Everyone knows that electronic discovery is expensive, but how expensive? When your company first becomes involved in a lawsuit, it is almost impossible to know how much the e-discovery process is going to cost, because there are so many variables. What documents and evidence will your opponent be seeking? How many people in your company will have potentially responsive information? How many different places is that data stored, and on how many different types of devices? How much data are we talking about? Unfortunately, in most cases, the uncertainty does not end there, because the pricing structures of most e-discovery vendors is confusing. One per gigabyte price for initial processing, another per gigabyte price for full processing, per gigabyte per month price for data hosting, an hourly rate for each document review attorney, a different hourly rate for project managers, monthly per user platform licenses, an hourly rate for technical support, a per page price for Bates labels, another per page price for optical character recognition, yet another for endorsements. Because you don't know how long you will need your data to be stored, how many hours it will take to complete the review, or how many documents will be marked for production and require post-review processing, there is no way to know what the total cost of the project will be. At DocuPrudence, we believe you deserve a more predictable cost structure. That's why our model is this: one low price per document. That's it. And we won't charge you for the initial processing and culling of your dataset. You pay only for those documents that are uploaded into our system for attorney review. So how does this work? Suppose your company is sued by a competitor for patent infringement. You determine that there are 10 people likely to have responsive information and that they each have about 10 gigabytes of data for a total of 100 gigabytes. Typically, initial processing will eliminate about 80% of this data, so that only 20 gigabytes needs to proceed to attorney review. Depending upon the type of documents involved, there are generally between 5,000 and 12,000 documents per gigabyte. So when your 100 gigabyte project comes in our door, we will provide you with an estimate that looks something like this. 100 gigabytes minus 80% equals 20 gigabytes of data that needs to be reviewed. At about 8,000 documents per gigabyte, that's 160,000 documents. We multiply that by our per document price to give you a total estimated cost, with a range to reflect the variability in the number of documents per gigabyte. So right away you will have a pretty good idea of what the project will cost. If you agree to that structure, then we will take your data into our system for initial processing. During this stage, we will eliminate system files, duplicate records, and documents that fall outside of the date range that you tell us is responsive. At the end of this process, we will have a total number of documents to be put into the review system, and from there we can give you the total final cost of the project, and that's a number you can count on. It includes all of the processing to that point, the cost of the attorney review, project managers, the data hosting, the platform licenses, the technical support, Bates labels, endorsements, optical character recognition, and the production in the format that you specify. Litigation is already stressful and disruptive to your business. You don't need the additional burden of wondering whether e-discovery is going to break your budget. Let DocuPrudence bring complete transparency and predictability to the e-discovery process. DocuPrudence, your choice for efficient and accurate e-discovery services.